Hey, what's up, guys? Today we'll go over a CT side pistol setup, and it's just a general baseline on how to play CT pistol round. It's a spawn-based setup, so real quick we'll just go over the 6 spawns that you can get here in CT spawn. So spawn 4 and 5, you're the fastest A spawns, and spawn 6 is the fastest B spawn, with spawn 2 being the second fastest B spawn. And so if you're the fastest A spawn, what you're going to want to do is buy armor, and you'll become middle and spot middle. We're just gonna get early info. You come across and cross here, jump spot out, see what you see. Now, if you see people coming up middle here, what you'll want to do is just call that they're coming up middle, run back to pit. And you can play like a pit angle here, maybe take a fight here if they're coming up lane. Rotate quick over to here, that way you have a nice crossfire with your guy in sight. And you could also maybe play bike. I mean, play it however you want, but fall back to pit. That way you get the long range ESP versus the Glocks. Give yourself some kind of advantage. If you didn't see anybody in middle, you come over here and spot and you see them coming up alt. As you cross here, you would cross, you'd say, you know, they're coming up alt middle, run back, get into pit, play it the same way. The other thing is you might see them coming up the ramp and going to the right there. Maybe you see somebody's foot right there. That you would call they're going toward B, and you could hold check alt, make sure there's nobody coming up, and just kind of hold this angle. Make sure that they don't come back and just run you over, so you don't want to just run right down mid just yet. Just kind of hold and wait for information. If the bomb's getting planted and they're already in sight, you know, fighting your team, then you can push down with your teammate and get a really fast B flank. If you were the second guy, spawn 4, you're going with your teammate to middle. You buy nade, flash, smoke. And as he crosses, you could get your nade down to try to get some early damage on anybody coming up ramp. Maybe if you're a little bit later, you didn't get spawn 4, you could sit here and hold this angle and wait for your teammate to call out info. If they're shooting at him, obviously they're coming up middle, you could throw your nade like that. Get some easy damage on anybody rushing up mid, and you're just gonna fall back immediately and go to site. Now, when you get to about right here, you can listen and see if they're coming up lane side or coming up arch side. If they're coming up lane, you could play angles like this. You could play an angle like this. Play it like this. However you feel comfortable taking this fight. You want to crossfire with your teammate in pit. Now, if they're coming up arch side, um, you could fall over here and play an angle kind of like this. Just an off angle. You don't really want to swing out too wide and try to fight all 5 of them. So you play an angle like this and have a good crossfire with your 2 B teammates that are already fast rotating back. We'll go over that in a sec. Um, the third thing is if the mid guy calls that they're going B, you'd sit here and hold the mid angle with him and just kind of wait to see if they're going to come back and come back up mid, see if you can get some info before you start rushing down. If they're hitting the B site and they're committing, then you go down with your teammate and you have the utility, so you could do something like a half wall flash. Alright, I fucked that up, sorry. A half wall flash for your teammate. You could throw a shutter flash for your teammate. Do something like that. Just to get top of banana control. Once you're both up here, you have the retake smoke. So what I like to throw is at the top left of this flower pot here. Just left click it. This is gonna block off anybody playing coffins or barbecue. You get up here, you have a nice little one-way that you can see in the dark. You can see in the coffins. You have overwatch for your teammates as they're pushing up around the smoke. Next would be the fastest B player. You're going to be either spawn 2 or spawn 6 here. What you're going to want to do is just buy a nade and a kit and get your nade off early. If they're rushing banana, we're going to get some early damage on them and just fall back to site. So I throw my nade and just immediately go back to coffins. Play this angle here. And if they're just rushing straight up, take some fights, kind of fall back, just get their attention, but try not to die. You could also play like this, and keep in mind you can shoot through this coffin here. And you just want to stall by time and try to draw their attention into your other teammates as your A teammates are rotating. You set up for a retake. Now, if they were going B, your teammates are going to be leaving you really quick, so what I would like to do is just kind of start cheating over yourself. That way you have a really fast rotate over. And you could just kind of listen, see if there's, maybe a lurker that's going to come up, or if they double back to B, you're still here. And you're just waiting for the call for the commit to A. If they are committing to A, you have a really fast rotate through arch to be right with your teammates to back them up. If they're coming up like arch side, your teammate's going to be here fighting them, so you're here to back them up really quick. Now the second and third B guys, or the last two guys, you're both going to go B as well. One of them should buy armor, one of them should buy nade flash smoke, and nade flash smoke guy is going to nade down with the first guy and fall back to the site just like the other one did. And if you hear that they're rushing up, you can do something like throw a flash over like that. However you want to do it. Throw your smoke here to stop the rush. You're just trying to slow down anything. What I like to do is, if the smoke stops them, they're not rushing through, I might take some shots through and just kind of cheat back over into sight here and get over to new box. That way I have a crossfire with my teammate who's still in spawn, or we have a three-way crossfire with the teammate in spawn and the coffin guy. And once the smoke clears and they execute in, then we should have a nice little setup for them. Another thing you could do is boost your teammate up before you go over. So they're rushing in, I throw my smoke, boost my teammate up, and they rush right through. If they rush right through, then I'm right underneath my other teammate, we're fighting them, and I have my coffin guy that can swing too. Now, if the mid guy is going B, or the mid guy calls that they're going up middle or up alt middle, then both me and this guy are going to rotate really fast and just go ahead and cheat over. What I like to do is go ahead and drop my smoke and flash to the second teammate and go library. From here, I'm just waiting to see if they go lane or arch side. If they go lane, then I have the teammate that's in sight and the teammate that's in pit. We have three guys shooting them as they cross right here. If they're going arch, again, I'm waiting for the call, and I'm just here to back up my teammate who's playing right there and my other teammate who's in arch. And we have a pretty nice three-man setup shooting them as they come up the arch side. The second guy who picked up the smoke and flash, what I like to do is kind of play around this box, wait to see if they're going to, what the call is, if they're going lane or arch. And if they're going arch side, I like to play behind this little box. That way you have some nice cover here. It'll be a nice bullet shield for you as you're fighting them with your teammates. If they're going up lane, what you could do is come out, just kind of clear top middle, maybe shoot somebody in the back here, anybody that's late, but clear this and then go back to moto to fight with your teammates and work off the retake. Last guy, that would be B. Real quick, this guy also would be the guy that has the smoke and flash. So the retake utility for A. Get yourself in the middle of this and aim at the inside of the hinge right here on this shutter. Just throw your smoke like this, throw your flash up like this, and you can push in and get in the smoke to use it as a one-way and kind of use the smoke to your advantage to take fights as your teammates push around. The other two teammates, you'd have the library guy and your late guy from B. They'd be coming up. They could both take the left side of the smoke. Maybe one go high and one go low. And so you're all three popping out, executing, retaking together, and taking those fights together. And that's about it, guys. Hope you liked. Thanks for watching. Bye.